So I know what my most anticipated comics of the week are. Do you? Hey comic fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, yes, you're with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you my top 10 most anticipated comics of the week. And this is for 10/16/2019. That's right, fans. It's never too early to get that pull list ready for next week. And hopefully this show will help you make some decisions on what comics to buy then. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time and watching this show. You seem to enjoy it, so I really appreciate it. And at any time, if you like this video, please give it that all-important thumbs up so people know that this channel exists out there in the YouTube world. And subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss any content from me. That's right, guys. So, yeah, there's a couple of cool comics in this week that's going to be coming out. So, let's get started. And we always get started with the book that's on the hot seat. Now, this week's hot seat book is not necessarily really a bad thing. It's a book that I'm looking forward to trying to check out. And if I can get on board or catch up with the story, I might hold on to it because I've heard good things about it. And this book is done by Mad Cave Studios. This is Show's End. This is issue 3. If somehow I can read issues 1 and 2, I would love to pick this up and see what this is all about. But I really heard some great things about it. And if you guys know where maybe I could possibly get a copy, or maybe if it's on Comixology, or maybe I could just get it at my comic shop, that would be great. This book is $3.99. Again, I don't know too much about it. I just know it's about this crazy world famous circus, and I don't know if there was a murder that happened. I don't know. But I just heard it was really good. So I'm going to give it a try, and hopefully I can read issues 1 and 2. Alright, so let's crack this top 10, right? So my number 10 this week goes to Absolute Carnage Scream, issue 3. It's kind of funny how this has fallen after 2 issues, right? When it first came out, I was really excited about it. Second issue, I'm like, it's okay now. It's like, maybe I just want the regular series of Scream. Maybe I don't want the tie-in as much. Because it doesn't seem like there's just a lot happening, you know? We get the character who's Scream, who's possessed by Carnage, and then it's not possessed by Carnage. And it's just, there's not a lot going on in there. But here it says, between Null's growing psychic influence and Patricia Robertson serving as its host, the Scream symbiote is being psychologically torn apart. But there's no time for weakness as Cletus Cassidy unleashes an onslaught of infected inmates on an unsuspecting New York. Scream and Carnage may be symbiotic siblings, but that won't stop them from slaughtering one another. So there doesn't really seem to be a huge plot point here besides them actually fighting each other and him maintaining control over Scream. So it's kind of just there, and I feel like it's there to, again, launch Scream's individual series. So I'm going to continue to read it because I've read it this far, so, to this point so far, and I am going to be checking out the regular ongoing series to see if that actually picks up. So this book is 32 pages. It's also $3.99. Shit, at least you're not paying $5 for this book, right? Alright, so moving on to number 9. And continuing the Absolute Carnage tie-ins, and I've said that I'm going to read every single one of these, and it seems like this group of characters are heavily involved in Absolute Carnage at this point, and this is Avengers, Absolute Carnage Avengers issue 1. So yeah, you got Captain America, you got Hawkeye, you even got the Thing in here, you got Wolverine, and so they've been an influence in this series. You've got to see them show up, and you got to see them try to help Spider-Man when it comes to using the Codex machine to get rid of things, and now all of a sudden things are heating up in the actual event with the Avengers. So I guess we get to see, Cletus on which Avengers had Codexes or symbiote possessions in the past, and is he going to try to destroy them and everything else? So I don't know, we'll see. This one, though, is 40 pages. This one's $4.99, not $3.99. So you're paying a little bit more for this particular one. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what our Earth's Mightiest can do with Cletus, and if they can stop him. I don't know. All right. So next on the most anticipated is Contagion issue 3. This is the number 8 spot this week. And the first issue, finally read it, right? I liked it. It's really a setup issue more than anything. And it seems like it's affecting the street level characters of Marvel. It affected the Thing. It affected like the Yancey Street Gang. It affected some of the rest of the Fantastic Four members. And now it looks like Iron Fist is involved. And so it looks like Jessica Jones will be involved in this series as well. So it looks like it's a real street level type of event. And I want to see how this virus spreads some more and what's behind this virus. Because in the first issue, you got to see this thing from Kalwan get affected, this monk or whatnot. And it has like this influence over its people. And yeah, so it seems very interesting. So I like the first issue. I'm maybe not quite as hyped as I once was because now I need to see more. You know, now that I saw the first issue. Curious on the pacing of this series as well, but it's still good. I want a little bit more from the artwork. I feel like it's a little bit too bright for a horror book or apocalyptic book or something about like that. But nevertheless, it's a good read. Can't wait for issue 2, and I'm going to read issue 3. So we'll see what happens. All right. So next, coming in at number 7, this goes to Trees 3 Fates issue 2. The first issue was actually pretty cool. You wind up getting to see the sheriff of the town. She was kicking her boyfriend out, and then her boyfriend winds up getting destroyed by one of these trees. And these trees have implanted themselves into the earth for Lord knows how long now. And now there was this murder that happened next to this tree. And so what happens now is the sheriff is trying to figure out what's going on. But the townspeople seem to know what's going on, and the sheriff doesn't. It looks like they're trying to keep things a secret. So there's much more of a mystery in this book than just the trees themselves. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen and how the story unfolds here. So really like that first issue. Looking forward to this one. We'll see where it goes. All right, so next on the list, coming in at number 6. We have Guardians of the Galaxy. This is issue 10. Last issue was kind of cool because you were left cliffhanged with Drax being part of the Universal Church of Truth, or that's the way you always say their name. I always forget it. Or the Church of Truth, the threat of the Universal Church of Truth. It's like a freaking tongue twister for me. But it looks like it's trying to take over the cosmos. It has like old school Drax as its army or whatnot, and Rocket is struggling to survive, and he's in this mech, and he's trying to get everyone together to try to stop them. I think this series ends at issue 12, and then we're going to get a new creative team after that aspect, and I totally forgot who's going to be taking over this book. I want to say, was it Al Ewing? I think it was. I think he's going to be taking over Guardians of the Galaxy. If I'm incorrect, put it in the comments below. But I'm looking forward to this one. And the conclusion, I think that Donny Cates has written a nice little story here. It's like a 12-part story. And he's going to tell it, and he's going to be done with it, and then he moves on from it. And I think it's going to set things up for things to come when it comes to Guardians in the cosmic Marvel universe. All right, so what's number 5 this week? Well, my number 5 most anticipated book goes to SpiderMan. This is issue 2, written by the Abrams family, and of course penciled by Sarah Pichelli. This was kind of a cool book. This first issue was very dark in many ways. We wind up getting to see that Mary Jane was killed in that first issue, and we get to see that Peter is just wants to be by himself, And he's not taking any of the responsibility ever since he lost Mary Jane. He's just kind of on his own doing his job. He doesn't even want to watch his kid, Benji, you know. And so Ben lives with Aunt May and whatnot, and he's like a Rick Grimes. He's got Hook, he's got a beard, he's got long hair, you know, and then Ben is kind of going through the stage of his life where he's developing his powers. His powers are manifesting. And Aunt May obviously knows the secret, and she kind of introduces Ben to the costume and says, you're going to know what you're going to have to do. So is Ben going to be the next Spider-Man? And how does Peter Parker fit in all this? And this is not the last we saw of MJ either, because the new enemy in this book is actually kept MJ as a trophy. She's like capsulated and whatnot. So there's a lot of things to unfold in this story. So it really piqued my curiosity after reading the first issue. So I think you're going to enjoy the second issue. And yeah, we'll see where this one goes. Hopefully, though, it just doesn't take a turn for the worst, right? All right, so what's coming in at number 4? Number 4 goes to Teen Titans, issue 35. This book is good, guys. I say this every time it comes out. If you haven't read it, you got to read it. And it's kind of hard now, too, because it's been out since, like, I want to say issue 20. I think this has been around with this new team. But every issue, it's great. It has a nice balance of action, good character development, great character emotions in it, nice artwork, all the way around. It's a well-balanced story, okay? And this one's only 32 pages, as you know, usual standard comic book, $3.99. Well, in this issue, there's actually been a traitor, and it's going to be finally revealed in this issue. And at the end of issue 34, it was teased that it was Roundhouse who was the traitor, but I think it's somebody else. I think Roundhouse is kind of like everyone's thinking, oh, it's Roundhouse, you know, oh, it's the obvious choice because he was the real clown of the group or whatnot, but maybe that was just to throw you off. Maybe it's just somebody else, and we'll see what happens and how this affects the team and how it affects the book going forward. If there is one thing in my eyes that DC has done right this year, and I'm not a fan of DC this year, but I feel it's Teen Titans, and I pray that this book does not go anywhere because it is an enjoyment to read, and I wish all books were made like this when it comes to teen books, period. DC and Marvel in itself. It's just well-balanced all the way around. All right, so now we're going to crack this top 3, and my number 3 this week goes to a new book that I started picking up once again, and this is Captain Marvel, and this is issue 11. This is Captain Marvel's last stand as she does battle against Star. In the last issue, we find out that Star is this hero, which you thought was a hero, but is, I guess, a person that wants to go against Carol Danvers. And we found out that she's siphoning powers from her. And not only is she siphoning power from her, she gets her power from everybody else on the earth. Somehow she puts something in all these people, and that's where she gets all her strength from. And she's tired of being somebody on the side. She wants to be somebody different. And yeah, and it looks like somehow, some way, like Carol Danvers is going to turn evil in this whole thing. So here's the description that it says, so we get a little bit more of what's to come in this story. The world has turned its back on her. Her powers are fading, and Carol Danvers has never felt more lost. But when a world has shunned her needs, Captain Marvel, she will answer the call, because that's what heroes do. Carol is in the fight of her life. One, by its very nature, must destroy her. What will be left when it's all over? So I don't know. We'll see. But this book is getting some huge speculation, at least with the first appearance of Star, which I think was issue 8, because Star is going to also be getting her own ongoing series. So what happens to Captain Marvel? Is she going to be around? Oh no, we'll see. So remember, Star's first appearance was issue 8, and her first, I guess, regular appearance of the regular character before she was Star was in issue 1 of that series. So very interesting stuff there. All right, so moving on to number 2. We have Absolute Carnage. This is issue No, this is issue 4. I put issue 2 on my notes, but that's not what it is. It's Absolute Carnage issue 4. The penultimate chapter of this symbiotic event of the year is here, guys. How is this one going to end? What's going to happen to Venom? What's going to happen to Spider-Man? What's going to happen to Carnage? What's going to happen to Normie? What's going to happen to Dylan? Who knows? None of these questions have been answered yet. Are we going to see the death of Eddie Brock? I don't know. But, you know, when you look at the grand scheme of things, this event is supposed to be like an action summer popcorn flick, right? And I think it's been pretty fun. And I'm up to the point now, though, where I'm ready to see the conclusion of this. So I think this is just at the right amount of length of time where it's like, okay, I'm ready for the end. Let's move on now from Absolute Carnage. I want to see the end. I want to see what happens. I want to see the aftermath. I just want that good shock value at the end and just be like, oh my God, I can't wait. Tired of the collection of the codexes. I want to see them do this epic battle, and we'll see what happens. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, 32 pages, $4.99. All right. So here it is. The number 1 most anticipated comic of the week. And remember, guys, this is for October 16th, 2019. This one goes to X-Men issue 1. Now that the House of X and Powers of X is over, we have Hickman continuing his story here when it comes to X-Men issue 1. Now, when this video is released, I still haven't read the very, very last issue. I think it's Powers of X yet. But nevertheless, I felt that Hickman has done a great job at laying down the road for what's to come in these series. And now we're going to get this series and all the other series coming out. So the description here is, the X-Men find themselves in a whole new world of possibility, and things have never been better. Jonathan Hickman, House of X, Powers of X, Secret Wars, and superstar artist Linnell Yu has been killing it on the artwork, which did New Avengers and Captain America reveal the saga of Cyclops and his hand-picked squad of mutant powerhouses. So Cyclops gets to pick his team for this book, and based off of the cover, it looks like you can see his father's there. It looks like you can see Wolverine's there, Marvel Girl's there. And so we got a couple of these other characters on there and his brother's there. So it's more like a family affair more than anything. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Let's hope it continues to be great. And let's hope all those other series come out. I'm sure you're going to see them in future episodes in anticipated comics. So, guys, there you have it. There are the most anticipated comics of the week for October 16th, 2019. Now I want to hear in the comments below what your most anticipated books are. Did this series help you pick out some of those picks? Are you guys enjoying this series? If you are, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that bell so you'll miss any content from me. And fans, as always, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you for taking the time for watching my channel. It really does mean a lot. And fans, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and you've been watching 2.0. See you soon, fans. Bye.